Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi and today we're doing another pick a card. Today's pick a card, we are taking a look at who are you becoming in your next era. So what part of you is going to be activated and brought to the forefront, because when we grow and we evolve as we move through life, we have versions of us and parts of us that basically get activated, that basically come to the forefront that might have been hidden before. So that's what we're doing. We're taking a look at what version of you is stepping forward, what version of you is coming out to play, and what version of you is being activated. So I have 4 crystals for you guys to choose from. Pile number 1 is the Chanel perfume. Pile number 2 is the Armani. Pile number 3 is the Valentino, and pile number 4 is the Dior. So see which perfume you're drawn to. The timestamps are going to be in the description box as usual, and I will see you guys at your timestamps. Hey pile 1, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what version of you is being activated in this new era. So you guys chose the Chanel perfume. I'm going to start with tarot and then we're going to move on to your oracle cards. So let's get in. So pile number 1, please spirit guides, tap me into the collective of my pile number 1s. Tap me into the collective of my pile number 1s, please. What version of my pile number 1s is being activated in this new era? What aspects of my pile number 1 are stepping to the forefront? Okay, we have the 7 of Pentacles. Pile number 1, please, spirit guides. Pile number 1. Tap me into my pile number 1s, please. I just hear time is money. We have the Knight of Cups. The 7 of Swords. Okay, pile number 1, please, spirit guides. Pile number 1. What version of my... Ooh, went over my shoulder. We have the Hierophant as well. Okay, and the back of the deck, you have the Queen of Cups. Okay, I'm literally being shown somebody like leaning forward on a horse, and like, you know when you see those people and they just like, when I say they run with a horse, I mean the horse just literally like runs and they just like zoom forward. That's what I'm being shown. And I was hearing cutthroat as well. I don't know if there's something that you guys are working towards or something that you guys are wanting to build, but I literally feel, I in some ways feel a little bit closed off to, I guess, outside influence. I feel like my head is down. I feel like I'm on a mission. You know what I mean? So I feel like in this next era, I don't know why, but from other people, I almost feel like I'm looking at you like you're pretty high maintenance. So it's kind of hard to get in touch with you, if that makes sense. It's hard to kind of get you kind of like around, because I keep hearing like from you guys' side, like time is money, like where my energy is going, it's going into things that I can really get fruitful results back, if that makes sense. I feel very disciplined in this energy. Like I feel the version of you that's being activated is someone that's very disciplined. I wouldn't even shock me if you guys are having an activation in the divine masculine side energetically, because I feel like I have goals in front of me, or I'm very aware where my energy is going and what I'm going to get back out of it. I'm very aware of like, okay, I have this much energy, I have this much resources, it needs to be quality, not quantity. That's kind of like how I feel. So it's almost like my time and energy anywhere else is scarce because I'm putting it into what matters. I almost feel like I'm building something, or I'm building a foundation, but it just feels naturally like there's a high maintenance energy coming from you guys, but it's to do with just like your body, what you're putting in your body, who you're spending time with, you know what I mean, what you're watching on TV. There's a lot of that. Like I'm very aware of where my energy is going, and I'm very aware of what I'm actually going to get out of that, if that makes sense to some people, especially if there may be people around you that you may have love for, you do like, but you may find that there's things that you just are not interested in doing over the next couple of months to like the next year or two, because I almost feel like I don't want to put my energy into that because I'm not going to get something back out of it, or I'm not going to put my energy into that and just kind of float because I didn't really care for it anyway, and I want my energy to go where I need it to go, you know what I mean, where I want it to go, where it's going to be beneficial for me. I kind of feel like if I was to revert back, like if I was to retrograde back, I almost feel like an octopus an octopus where my tentacles are everywhere, and I feel like where I am now, I've kind of like sucked all of that back in, and my energy is very much for me. You may have, even before this phase, or even now before you step into that phase, if you guys don't feel like you're here yet, you may have been in like a recalibrating stage where you may have just been resting a little bit. You may have even gone through a burnt out stage where you may have been putting your energy in places where it wasn't beneficial for you, and now you're pulling that back. I do want to say though, with the Knight of Cups going into the Seven of Swords, what I was getting with that is, I don't know why, like in terms of like outside influence, I almost feel, I would say okay, it's a little bit of advice, but I almost feel like you're so rooted and grounded, I don't feel like it's going to be that much of like a worry for you. But I almost see people trying to like knock you off like a road that you're down. So it's like my head's down, I'm on that horse, I'm going, and it's almost like there's distractions. So I'm not going to say that you going down this road straight away, there aren't going to be distractions that come up, that aren't going to be people like, hey, let's do this, let's do that, or you know, do this or put your energy into this. I'm not saying that's not going to be there. For the most part, I see you guys being disciplined, but you may get a little bit pushback, especially from people that may be used to your energy going elsewhere and it might have suited them. That's the first thing that I'm going to say. And I feel like there may be one or two people, and this isn't for all of you, but there may be one or two people that for some of you, you may really have to put your foot down and really put some heavy boundaries in terms of like, yeah, I don't want to do that anymore. That isn't something that I like anymore. Or I'm early mornings, I go to bed early night now. I can't be up till like, 3 a.m. playing this video game with you. Or I can't be doing those things that, you wanted me to do because it wasn't really getting me anywhere and I really need my head down. So I feel like there are gonna need to be boundaries with certain people. For some of you guys, you may get a little bit of, because when I was feeling it from other people's perspective, there may be like one or two people for some of you guys that may be like, oh, they don't want to be around me anymore, they don't want to be my friend anymore, or they have gone kind of like cold with me. There may be people that may take it to offense, or may just take it like, oh, like I'm kind of feeling that, especially when, and this feels later down the road, when they start seeing maybe certain results you're getting, because I don't know why I feel like I'm doing something to get a result. So again, I don't know if it's my head's down work-wise, I don't know if I'm in the gym, I don't know if it's like clean eating, I don't know if it's a whole overhaul and I'm really asserting boundaries and like this is my energy and I needed to go where I need to go. It's going to be different for all of you guys, but there's almost this energy from other people where you're coming across as very high maintenance, like, no, I'm not going to always be available, and no, I can't just on a whim do this or that, like I have this to do, or I have like my work that I've got to get my head down, whether I'm in the gym constantly, or I'm saving up my money so I am not spending it on silly things. Like, there are rules and structure in this next era that I feel has been activated within you. Like I said, divine masculine energy, I feel very rooted, very goal orientated. This is my energy, I'm preserving my energy, and I do feel like it's because you're hearing what I feel energetically. I almost feel like there's a road that's opened up, so it's almost like a timeline that's unfolded, and it's like I want to get down this timeline. So I almost feel like you're energetically listening to yourself, you're intuitively listening to yourself. I need to get my head down with this, or I'm going to run forward with this. I see like an accelerated energy behind you. I see spirit around you helping you on that path. So if it's something that you've wanted to manifest in, I see you really doing the groundwork over the next couple of months. I want to say like a year. I feel like I'm really rooted in my head's where it needs to be, at least for a year, it feels, because it does feel like a stretch of time. That's what I'm being shown. I also do feel because one thing I will say about you guys, at your core, I think you're very empathetic, I think you're very open emotionally, I think you're very loving, and I think that you see the light in people, and I do feel for you guys, you kind of have like this endless amount of empathy, if that makes sense. I do feel there are going to be moments where you may even, because divine masculine side feels like it's been activated, so there may be moments where, I'm not saying you're going cold or you're cutting off or whatever it is, it's not that. I just feel like there are moments where you're almost just going to be like, okay, yes, empathy, yes, I have it, but I need to move logically for a second because I need to get this done, or I need to get that done. Like, I'm gonna have empathy always, but not when it comes to the expense of something that I need to get done, and that's for me and my benefit, and something that I really need to do. You know what I mean? Like I need to, because I don't know why, I feel like in the past people might have tugged on strings, like heartstrings, and tugged on that. And I'm not saying that you're not gonna have that, like that's still there, but I just feel like there's a level of logic of like boundaries. Like I can't take that on right now, or I can't take on your guilt or frustration or whatever it is right now. There's something to do with emotions where I'm observing and I'm not absorbing, and it's like, yes, I understand, but I can't take that on for you. You know what I mean? Like I can't take on that guilt or that frustration on for you. I need to like just observe and just kind of keep rooted. I don't know what that's in aid of. I don't know if that was coming through as maybe people trying to tug at the heartstrings to pull your energy back. I don't know if you're someone that's always taking on other people's responsibilities and feelings, but there is some sort of boundary or like some sort of guard up in terms of like, you know, like sometimes like let's say you have a friend, you have a family member, and you know they're not someone that is, let's just say, doing the work, and they're not somebody that's listening to boundaries or whatever. They're still causing a little bit of chaos, and you have to then choose to put boundaries in and root, right? You have to ground in and root and be like, these are my boundaries, like you're causing chaos in my life, it's bleeding onto me, I can't take that on anymore, you know. But then sometimes we can feel guilt, but it's like, yes, okay, feel the guilt, allow it to flow out, but it's not for us to feel guilt where someone isn't choosing to shape up or put those boundaries in. They're not stepping out of themselves to look at how they're affecting you. So that's what I'm being shown. There's more logic in terms of like, okay, well, I'm not taking on that guilt that I have to pull back a second. Like I'm not taking it on. I don't know what that's in aid of. It's just come through. If it aligns with you, it aligns with you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's only going to align for like those of you that it connects with. But I just see a much more grounded, rooted, more logical stance in terms of the next year. I just feel it's not that emotions aren't going to be present, because I feel like you guys very much work through the heart space. I feel like you guys lead with your heart in that sense, but I just feel that I feel like I'm being shown a tree and the roots are going really into the ground. So I feel like my roots are growing now. I'm rooting and I'm grounding, you know, just as deep as I've gone up, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm being shown there. I really do feel like you're having an expansion in the more divine masculine area for you guys to kind of get. I'm hearing like discipline as well. Like there's something to do with discipline and reward. Like I'm rooting and grounding to get a certain reward. That's kind of like how I feel as well in this energy. And I almost feel like I'm learning and understanding that. And I think that's why that's being activated in your energy. And I feel like you're building with that. You know what I mean? I feel very, very rooted. This feels like a very grounded, matter of fact pile. Yeah, I also do feel as well, because it was just something that came through. I felt like, you know, when you have people and they have like a signature fragrance, or they have like a signature piece of jewelry that they always wear, I almost felt like anything that isn't signature I was removing. So it's like I don't have 5 of one thing. I have that eye cream because I like that eye cream, and that's it. I don't need any more. I have that moisturizer because I like that moisturizer, or that lipstick because I like that lipstick. I don't need any more. There's something about like I don't need excess. Like I only need what's in front of me. So anything where there's like, I almost felt like if you guys were in the past someone that was like, oh, let's have like 5 lipsticks, let's have like 3 different watches, let's have like 20 pairs of shoes. I'm just being exaggerative, but you know what I mean. I almost feel like there's like we're closing that off in a way. Like I only need 1 of this, or I only need this handy thing, or like this signature perfume. I do not need 5 and 10 of things. I don't know why I feel very rooted and I only need what's in front of me. The basic tools. Like I don't need the colourful sequin cover to go on the steering wheel. Like I don't know why I feel very basic, or I've come back to my roots, if that makes sense. And that's only for some of you guys, but I do see some of you guys entering that energy for a little while. But I also feel then it's quality, not quantity. Because then there's that high maintenance energy of like, think of it, do you want like 5 like of the more cheaper product things that might not be as well, or do you want 1 of the more expensive things that might work better? You know what I mean? It's something like that. I know sometimes you can get cheaper things and they're better than the expensive. I know that. It's just something that came through. I just feel like think of it from an energy perspective. Would I rather put all of my energy into this and get a more grandiose, you know, what's the word? I've forgotten the word. A more grandiose outcome, if that makes sense? Or do I just want to do little bits, my energy's going everywhere, and then nothing really comes of it? You know what I mean? Look at it from an energy perspective if it doesn't work on the other way. That's what I was just being shown. I don't know why I feel like I'm saving up and putting my energy where it needs to go, and it could be again in the financial way. I'm saving up money and putting that where it needs to go, you know. Yeah, so that's something that was coming through as well. I just thought I'd add that in because it came in at the beginning, but I didn't it flowed to other messages, so I just thought I'd bring it up if it needed to. So pile 1, please, spirit guides. Pile 1. Pile number 1, please, spirit guides. Pile number 1, please, spirit guides. What part of my pile number 1s is being activated right now? You have universe, opening up divine energy, allowing the universe to help and guide you. We have gamble, taking chances, jumping in with 2 feet, risk taking. And you also have identity, self-discovery, authenticity, and being whole. And the back of the deck, you have summer, heat and back, vacation. Okay. Let's get that to focus. Okay. Universe. I really do feel, again, like I said, timeline opening. I feel like you're energetically getting this push. I do see spirit around you quite strongly right now. And it may have been like a little bit of an awkward transition, especially if you guys normally are maybe very connected to spirit, very open in that way. Maybe somebody that's very like leads with our emotion or leads with spirit, whichever one works for you. I almost feel like this has been happening for some time where I feel like I've been what's the word, like I've started in the shallow end and I've slowly made my way to the deep end. I'm not saying that you're not going to be leading with emotion in the next year or so. I'm not saying you're not going to be, you know, moving with spirit. I see both of those energies being present, but it's using that to ground and root and get something done. It's almost like we already had, you know, the energy at play. We already had the ideas. We already had the, you know, those higher energies involved. Now we're rooting in to bring that magic to earth so we can blend and bring that balance, if that makes sense. So I do feel like there's a strong, I feel like spirit's been helping guide you in understanding the shift. Because I know sometimes when people are more open in the divine feminine area, when we move into the divine masculine area, it can be a bit, but that's what I'm seeing. And that's what spirit's been guiding you with, you know. Because there's so much divinity in the divine masculine, you know, side. There's so much divinity in the more grounded, rooted side. There's so much divinity in creating something from nothing, you know what I mean, in this reality. And I feel like that's what you're learning to do, which is really lovely. And with gamble, as you see, she's like walking through the door and it's like taking chances. So I really do feel, I feel like projects are starting. I feel like I'm starting new routines. And this could be light or deep depending on whatever it is you feel like you're setting up for. It could be setting up a morning routine. It could be, you know, as little as something like that. It could be starting a new job or starting a project. Again, it could be going to the gym. It could be, you know, again, from an energetic perspective, like let me put these boundaries in and pull my energy back. It could be from any area, but I do feel like there's new journeys that are being embarked on. There's seeds that I feel like have been sown and now they're starting to sprout, if that makes sense. I feel like we're walking the walk after we've talked the talk. That's kind of how I feel. And then with identity, I feel like you guys are building up your ego in this time period too. Some of you guys in the past might have gone through like an ego death, or maybe a period of, you know, shadow work, or a period of just inner work and healing when you've been letting go of whatever it is you were letting go of. I feel like you're building that energy back up, you know what I mean? I feel like it's kind of gone and now it's coming back full circle. So I feel like there's parts of you that are still going to be activating. I feel like there's parts of you that you're still going to explore, but it feels to do with the ego. It feels to do with like, this is something that I want to do, or this is the type of person that I am, or I like to, you know, put my money here, or I like to put my energy here, or, you know, these are the things that I like. That's how I feel. And it feels to me personally very connected to the physical and enjoying your time in the physical, you know. Yeah, so that is what I have for you, pile one. I really hope that you enjoyed your reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey Pal2, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what version of you is being activated in this new era. What parts of your personality, what parts of your energy are coming to the forefront. So you guys chose the Armani perfume. I'm going to start with tarot and then we're going to move on to your oracle cards. So let's get in. So pile number 2, please, spirit guides. Pile number 2, please, spirit guides. What part of my pile number 2s is being activated in this new era? What version of them is stepping to the forefront of this new era? We have the 4 of Swords. What version of my pile number 2s? Card just flipped over. We've got the 2 of Pentacles. What version of my pile number 2s, please, spirit guides? We have the Lovers. What version of my pile number 2s, please, spirit guides, is being activated in this next era? What version of my pile number 2s is stepping forward in this next era? We've got a card that's flopped on the floor. And we have a card that reversed itself. So we're going to use the both of them. So we actually have the 9 of Cups. And we have the Chariot. On the back of the deck, you guys have the King of Pentacles. Okay. Okay. I feel like for this particular pile, some of you guys may have been on your own for some time, and I think it was needed. I feel like you guys have... I'm being shown the Hermit in my mind's eye. So again, you could have been in Hermit more, but what I feel like you guys have been going inwards. I almost feel like I've been topping up my energy, or I've been building up who I am. That's kind of like how I feel. I feel like in the past, you guys may have felt a little imbalanced there, or you may have found that you guys... Because I almost feel like I'm... And this is past energy, this isn't now. I almost feel like I am tailoring myself to others, or I'm tailoring myself to what other people may need. Maybe there's like an imbalance in my connections. There's an imbalance in the type of relationships that I've been having. Maybe I had more focus on them, or maybe there was just a lot of like mirrored like karmic connections in the past. That feels like it's gone, because I do feel like there's been a period where I've kind of been in a cave. Like I have not really been like out and about. I've been learning about myself. I've been going deeper into myself. I've been doing, you know, inner work. I've been clearing. I've been transmuting, you know, wounds or whatever it is. What I feel is happening in this next era, I feel like I'm riding shotgun instead of being in the steering wheel. One, I feel like I'm learning from other people, right? I almost feel open to like other people, their stories, the way that they move. Maybe I've always been someone that's like, you know, had a level of control. So it's like, okay, I move like this is the way that I look at life, this is the way I look at spirituality, this is the way I look at relationships, this is the way that I move. Whereas I almost feel like I'm taking that kind of shield off, and I'm like, how do you guys move? Like, how does this work for you? How do you, you know, how do you do your eggs in the morning? Like, I literally feel like I'm asking questions and I'm listening to other people to really understand the way that they do it, because I feel like it's broadening my horizon. I almost feel like I'm in the learning desk. I don't even know what I'm saying. What's it called? Is it called a learning desk? I don't know. You guys are in, what's it called? It's not called learning desk. It's something where it's like I'm in the school, something. I'm in the learners. I don't know, but you guys are taking notes, right? That's what I'm trying. I forgot the word for it. My brain's gone blank. I feel like you guys are taking notes, and I feel like you're learning not just from life, but from other people. I'm starting to see the divinity in other people and the way that they do things. I'm starting to see the colors in other people. I feel like you guys are quite introspective. I feel like you guys, even in the past, when it came to connections and things, I almost feel like whatever people did, I feel like it mirrored back to you. So I feel like you'd go inward and learn about it within. But now I feel like I've built myself up enough to where I feel like I'm learning from others, and I'm understanding others, and I'm looking at the way that they move, and the way that they apply themselves to work, and the way that they apply themselves to life, and that, you know, whatever their beliefs are, and I'm listening and I'm learning and I'm understanding. And I feel like that is actually helping balance these energies out. I feel like you're now learning from you know, from the world and learning from people. You may have been somebody that never really looked at books. Maybe you got all your information within. Maybe you connected to spirit from within. Now maybe you're learning to like read from books and listen to, you know, podcasts or watch YouTube videos where you're learning from other people. And it's not because like, oh, like I need to learn X, Y, and Z. It's like I'm creating that balance. I'm understanding other people's perspective now. I've rooted myself in and anchored myself in. So now I'm learning from other people. Now, how that's also going to come to the forefront for you guys is I do feel like you guys are going to be welcoming in connections. The way I'm feeling is I almost feel like I'm in a new era, like a new phase energetically. I feel like I've just kind of tied up some karmic wounds or just kind of put things to bed. That's kind of like how I feel. I don't know why I'm being shown like a town in the distance and a horse and carriage like driving away from it. I don't know why. So I kind of feel like I'm leaving something behind, like I've tied up those loose ends. So you're probably going to find over the next year or two, you know, when there's a new series of a TV show and there's new characters, you may find that in your life. You may make new friends, you may have new love interests coming in, especially if you guys have been single and on your own for a bit. I do feel like you guys are going to be dating, and I do feel like you guys are going to be learning through other people. I do feel that there are going to be relationships up ahead, and there are going to be friendships up ahead. I feel like you guys are going to be learning a lot as well about connection, and I feel like you guys are going to be because I'm hearing Selena Gomez's song. I'm sure it's called Vulnerable, but she literally sings, if my only other option's letting go, I'll be vulnerable. And that's kind of like how I feel. I feel like I'm learning from other people how to open up. I'm learning from other people. Like, I know how to love, but do I know how to receive love? So it's like I can only understand that through other people, and them kind of like teaching me or putting, you know, that medicine within me, or putting that medicine on, you know, my wounds. I've cleared them up to, you know, a level that I could do on my own. I've done the inner work to a level that I could do on my own. But now it's like I'm learning and I'm connecting to other people and their medicine, and I'm learning how they love and they move, and I'm kind of like allowing that in. I almost feel like I'm opening the gates and I'm allowing that in, not just from like information and books and things like that, but from, you know, relationships and friendships. I'm learning and I'm opening up to that, and I'm kind of like understanding, you know, that within other people. So I do feel like you guys are going to be, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like you guys are going to be entering your like lover boy, lover girl era. Especially if you've been solo for some time, I feel like you are going to be bringing some friends in, or like one or two friends, or it could be like you bring in a friend and then it turns romantic. But I do see a lot more people around you guys than in the past. I feel like you guys may have been on your own for some time, where it's like, okay, that plant has filled out the pot. Now it's time to learn from another perspective. Now it's time to flip that on its head and learn through other people and open up, you know what I mean? Because sometimes as well, we can do so much inner work on like certain, you know, wounds or whatever it is that we have, cracks in the foundation, but sometimes then we need to open up to other people, because people then can, you know, mirror parts that maybe we didn't see. And sometimes there's a great deal of healing we do on our own, but once we understand that and we integrate that, there is a lot of healing that can come through connection with others, through relationships with others, through learning to love others. And sometimes it could be a little painful, sometimes triggers can still come up, you know what I mean? But that's how we learn, that's how we grow, that's how we evolve. And I feel like that's going to happen for you guys. I feel like you're going to enter into relationships, or at least bring friendships in. I do see emotional connections. That's kind of like how this feels. I feel like there's emotional connections, and I feel like I'm learning about myself just as much as I was learning on my own and doing that inner work. I feel like I'm learning about myself through other people. And I do feel like I'm outside a lot more, so I almost feel like you're going to be a little bit busier. I feel like you're going to be pretty busy, or you're at least going to be going out and being seen, and, you know, I feel like I'm thinking on my feet. So I feel like maybe in the, you know, through the period where maybe you would have been on your own, there was a lot of structure and you were very grounded and very rooted. You may find that, I'm not saying you're going to be all over the place, but I feel like you may be learning to you know, kind of like go with the flow and think on your feet and do things that you wouldn't normally do, you know what I mean? Instead of going to bed at 9 p.m, you know, staying out like an hour later, like because you're doing X, Y, and Z, or you're with this person or whatever. I just see a little bit like of lightheartedness and fun, but I also do see that there are going to be emotional connections where you're going to learn about yourself through other people as well. And again, that could also be you learning through to, you know, other teachers or other, because I don't know if I feel like I'm sitting in, oh, I'm saying it again, I'm sitting in the learning seat. I feel like I'm sitting and I'm learning from people, and I feel like them, I don't know if there's something you're wanting to study, but I almost feel like if you guys are learning to study something, it almost feels like something different than what you'd normally, I feel like I'm looking at something through a different lens. Like before I would have looked at it this way, but this person looks at it this way, but I'm having to like understand that and look at it from their perspective, and it's actually teaching me and it's having me open up. Not because what I was doing was wrong or my perspective was wrong, it's yin yang, we're just looking at it from another side of the coin, and I feel like that's going to give you like the whole picture. So some of you guys may be learning something or studying something where it may be different to what you may usually, it may be different to the beliefs that you may normally have or the way that you'd look at it. That's just for those of you that know that you're going to be studying something or getting your head down with something. But it wouldn't even shock me as well if, in terms of like relationship and friendships to come in, I feel like you're going to look like them on the inside, but they may have like different belief systems, or they may, if it's not belief systems, they may just move differently. You know, one of you could be more logical while the other one could be more, you know, open and kind of go with the flow and trusted. One could be more in their divine masculine, one could be more in their divine feminine, and you'll know which one's you. But I just feel like there's going to be like a shake up there then, if that makes sense. Yeah, but I feel like you're going to emotionally learn from other people, and I feel like there's a lot to be gained and a lot to be activated, parts of yourself that you didn't even know that existed. Because when we're loved and we, you know, we feel safe and people are holding space for us, and you know, all of that, you can be surprised what parts of us will start to bloom. And I think you're going to meet new versions of yourself, you know, through that. And I also feel like I'm trusting them. Like I don't know, some of you guys have had to be like hyper independent, or some of you guys have had to be very rooted or grounded. Some of you guys may have had to be very like, I almost feel like I have to watch my own back, and I have to be a little like, I feel like I'm tensing up for some reason. I feel like you're going to be learning to flow back and just kind of like fall into people and maybe trust others and fall into trusting others. I feel like that's something you're learning as well, which is really beautiful, because connection is one of the biggest things that we, you know, learn from. And I feel like that's what's going to be happening for you guys. I feel like people are going to be mirroring aspects to you, which is, you know, really exciting, because I just see a lot of, I feel like my heart's opening. I almost feel like my emotions are opening, and I'm looking at things, or I'm feeling things in a way I wouldn't have before, or I'm really, you know, I feel really trusting of this person, so I feel very safe. There's a lot of that coming through. So you're learning from other people. Some of you guys may be moving into your numerology, your personal year number 2. It's just something that's come up. You don't have to be, I'm just being shown the number 2. Yeah, and I'm hearing 2 Most Wanted by Miley Cyrus and Beyonce. They sing, I'll be a shotgun rider till the day I die. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if that song will have any significance. But yeah, 2 Most Wanted, Miley and Beyonce. I just heard. Pile number 2, please, spirit guides. What part of my pile number 2s is coming to the forefront? I feel like I'm sat and I'm learning. That's kind of how I feel. We have creativity, movement, music, writing, follow your passion, freeing your inner child. You have surrender, release, change, focus, turning things around, ending of eras, inner knowledge. One more card, please, spirit guides. What are my pile number 2s activated? We have the universe, opening up, divine energy, allowing the universe to help and guide you. And the back of the deck, you have secret, hidden messages, holding back emotions, and locking the secrets and passion within. Okay. I also feel, with the secrets card being at the back of the deck, I also feel like things are going to be revealed to you, almost like energetically. Because I feel like you guys are quite introspective. I feel like that's an energy that's always been there for you guys. So I almost feel like there's going to be things revealed about yourself, like back to you, like, oh my god, I didn't know I did this, or oh my god, I never even knew I had this within me. And I just see things coming full circle, and not because you're choosing for it to come full circle, not like I'm making the choice to do this healing and this is going to clear and this is going to have, it's not even like that. It's almost like, oh my god, I didn't even know that was a wound until after you've like healed it. Like I almost feel like somebody's giving me a key, so somebody's mirroring something to me, and then I'm noticing that I'm really open in this aspect, and now that I'm thinking about it, I was always closed, but now I feel really open to do it. But now that I'm seeing the difference, I'm like, oh my god, I must have like felt like I needed to hide that part of me. Oh my god, I didn't even know that that version of me was there, but hiding, and now it's come out. So it's almost like, oh, you know, and it's, my head wasn't down trying to heal that wound. It just kind of happened through me feeling safe or me feeling loved. Like I just see little like aha moments coming in for you guys as well. I'm not going to say you're not going to be as introspective, because people, you know, may mirror things to you, and I feel like you may take it in and be like, oh, I do this, or oh, this is triggered, and I you know, I thought I'd move past this, or oh, you know, this is like a really good feeling, I've never felt this before. So there are going to be levels of introspection, but I don't think your head's going to be down like, I need to heal and I need to do this and I need to do that, because that's not the era you're in. I don't think that's the point of the era you're in. I think you're meant to just live and enjoy and have fun and connect with other people. I feel like that's where you're kind of like headed there, you know? So with creativity, yeah, I feel like I'm taking other people's like advice. I always painted it pink, but people are using indigo, and I've always been structured with my paints. There was red, yellow, green, blue, and that's all I used, but people are mixing red and blue together to make purple, and I've always been one to not mix things, but that purple looks really good, let me try it for myself. Like that's kind of like how I feel like I'm taking little bits of information from other people, or I'm learning things from other people, and I'm trying it a different way, you know? I've always looked at relationships like they gotta be really, you know, I've got to be so serious about it, and it's got to be this way, but you know, what if I just try and be lighthearted and see how that works, and then it ends up working out for you, and you're like, oh, maybe, you know, maybe that's what I needed, that lever to come down. Take what resonates. It's going to be different for all of you, but that's how I feel. Like I just feel like you're going to be learning from other people, and I think that's where the surrender card is, because it's almost like I'm used to being in the steering wheel, and now I'm learning to like coast or be in the back seat or be shotgun, and yeah, it's like, I don't know, I feel like I feel, you know, that exercise where somebody stands behind you and you fall into their arms. That's how I would sum up the era you're in. You're learning to flow and trust others and have that trust in others, I feel. And again, I feel like spirit is working with you with the universe card to bring the right people to you, and the people that are really gonna help you learn and help you open up. I feel like you've done enough work to not really have to worry about, you know, what if this person does this or that, because it's like I feel like you know your boundaries, you understand yourself, you know when something doesn't feel right. I feel like that's already where it needs to be, and I feel like spirit's just bringing the right people to you that could really I feel like significant people are being brought to you, whether it's people you're learning from, friends, relationships, maybe your old family members you're getting close to again. That's what I'm being shown. But I feel like there's a lot. I feel like I'm around a lot of people, or I at least feel like I'm opening to other people. It feels really lovely. So I feel like you're kind of going into your lover era, your lover boy, lover girl era, your lover person era. Like that's how I feel. So pile number 2, that is what I have for you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed your reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pile 3, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what version of you is being activated in this new era. So you guys chose the Valentino. I'm going to start with tarot, and then we'll move on to your oracle cards. So let's get in. So pile number 3, please spirit guides, tap me into the collective of my pile number 3s. What version of my pile number 3s is being activated in this new era? We have the Knight of Cups. What version of my pile number 3s is being activated in this new era? We have the Two of Wands. What version of my pile number 3s is being activated in this new era? We have the Hierophant. What version of my pile number 3s? Six of Cups. Okay. On the back of the deck, you have the Chariot. Okay. I feel like in this new era, you're not playing about yourself. But what's interesting about this, the only way I can describe what I'm being shown, when I first tapped in, I felt like I had lots of energy. And I don't know if you've seen, there's this episode in Friends I'm being shown two scenes, so I'll just try and explain them a bit quickly. But there's an episode of Friends where Ross eats this, I think it's like taffy or something, I'm not sure, and it has lots of sugar in it, and he's not really meant to eat it because he gets a bit delirious. I don't know, he just gets a bit like very weird on the sugar, if that makes sense. And I don't know, he just ends, the way he talks, the way he speaks, he's like very funny, kind of just like a little out there, a little all over the place. But when you think of like, you know, if you were to like drink alcohol, if you were to have lots of sugar and get lots of, you know, energy within you, or, you know, you go out for a fun night or whatever it is that you do, there's parts of you that get activated that maybe a more talkative version or the funnier version, or you may have a lot more energy. The reason I was saying the other clip that I was being shown, because I was being shown The Office, where Michael Scott has like, I think it's like pretzels, and he has like everything on it, like syrup and caramel and all of those things, and he just gets loads of energy, and he's like, right, we need to move the desks, we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to do that. I feel like there's a lot of energy within me that I feel like wants to come out, but for some reason I'm being shown the inner child, and it's like, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to, you know, I want to go karting, I want to go to Japan, I want to go to New York, I want to do all of these things. Like, I almost feel like for some of you guys, maybe your inner child was repressed for some time. Maybe you had to adult at a really young age. Maybe you had to really just hide fun aspects of yourself, funny aspects of yourself, that glittery personality that I see you guys have. Like, because the way you're coming through is like the sun. I feel really activated, I feel confident, I'm very creative. That's kind of like how I feel, right? But I feel like it's been repressed. I feel like it's been hidden. There's these parts of myself that have been hidden, and because I see you've cleared that work, I'm literally being shown like a log being removed from something. Like, I'm picking up a log and I'm moving it out the forest. I feel like because that wedge has been taken away, whatever it is that you've been clearing and working through, where your inner child didn't feel safe to allow those fun and bright aspects to come out, they're starting to come out. I see them starting to feel safe to come out, and I see lots of different like versions in terms of like you feeling very activated, you feeling very happy, you having a lot of energy. And then I don't know why I feel this like presence of like your, I guess, inner divine mother, inner divine father, feeling very protective over that version of you. Like, I don't play about that version of me, you know what I mean? I don't play about that. You're not going to treat me like that, or you're not going to project your BS onto me. Like, I've had that done my whole life. My inner child's now coming out to play. You are not going to repress them and push them back in. Not going to happen. So I see you in this very bold, very courageous, very confident energy, where I see you full of beans, to be honest with you. I see you having a lot of energy. And it's not shocked me that Luna, the cat that has the most energy in the world, Luna has a lot of energy. She gets up to a lot of naughty things at night. There she is saying hi. She has just decided to run into the room as I'm saying that. So yeah, I feel like there's like an activation, and I don't know why I see you doing things that maybe in the past you would have held yourself back from. Now that could be going over to flirt with somebody that you wouldn't normally go and flirt with. That could be you deciding to like take a leap in terms of your business, or start something that maybe you used to not feel very confident with. That could also be in terms of like, again, because I saw like I want to travel somewhere, so maybe in the past you were someone that was like, oh, I don't know if I could do that, or I like the idea, maybe I even, you know, have the money to do X, Y, and Z, but it's like, oh, I don't know. I see you going and doing it. I see you going and taking that leap and going to travel or go on those vacations. I see you taking that leap and really getting out there and doing little things. In terms of like just wearing things too, like I almost feel like for some of you guys, I don't know why I'm being shown the scene, lots of movies for you guys. I'm being shown the scene from, I think it was Grown Ups 2, where one of the daughters of one of the guys, she wears like these cowboy boots and they glitter and light up. I don't know why I'm being shown that. So I don't know if your inner child, or maybe you guys when you were younger, maybe you were quite creative like that and like to like showcase that, and maybe you learned to really hide that side of yourself. I really see you letting that out. I don't know why I feel like there's this level of confidence, and I feel like I'm letting these versions of me out. I'm, you know, where my inner child will want to shine or activate or be creative. That's kind of like what I feel like I'm doing 100%. And I feel like this is because you've been clear. I feel like you've been clearing. So it's like your inner child is bringing that, like, hey, I've always wanted to do this, or I want to, you know, open up to this now, or I want to you know, I've got this funny joke that I want to tell and I always repress it, but I really want to say it. Like, I just see aspects of you where you're a lot lighthearted. I don't know why I see you cracking jokes. I feel like I'm seeing your funniness, and the fact that I was seeing TV shows and movies, I don't know, I just feel like there's a part of you that maybe you haven't released that's very, I want to, do you know what the word I'm getting from spirit is? Charming. I feel like there's a part of you that is very, like, I don't know, I feel infectious. It's the inner child, because I'm seeing, again, another movie, 13 going on 30. So I'm being shown Jenna Rink when she's in the 30-year-old body, but she, like, does the Thriller dance. And, you know, she's so endearing and so, you know, you just feel drawn to her because it's, like, that inner child light where it's, like, I want to go and dance to Thriller and do all of these things. I'm not thinking about other people kind of judging or putting me down. I'm just going to go and do these things. Or I'm going to wear those, you know, things in my hair. Or I'm going to, whatever it is. That's what I see. Like, I see you guys just doing things. And I see you becoming more, I feel really drawn to you. I feel like you're very magnetizing. I don't know why, in terms of conversation, I feel like you're very charming. I feel like if you guys have always felt like, oh, I don't know if I'm, like, I don't really care for small talk, I feel like you're entering an era where you may get that down. I feel like you're entering an era where you may be able to, like, do that and get that side out of you. I don't know why I see you being a lot more extroverted, a lot more talkative, a lot more, you know, I'm not, when I say show off, I don't mean like, oh, look at me, I'm showing off. But, like, we demonize, like, people wanting to be the star of the show, or we demonize anyone that would want a little bit of attention for here, there, like, for whatever it is. We demonize that, like, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't, you know, want to look good, God forbid you want to do this or shine like this, God forbid. But it's like, we're allowed to feel that. We can feel that if we want to. And especially when you have those energies within you, which I see are in you, where, like, I don't know if some of you guys wanted to be, like, actresses growing up, or actors, or be in plays, or wanted to sing, because I feel like there's a natural flair there where I almost feel like you guys, you know how there's sometimes, like, a pile where I do, like, who's attracted to you, or how do people describe you, and there's always a pile where I say you guys would make the best influencers, because I feel like you could just sit on camera and people could just speak to you and talk to you and, like, listen to you and listen to what you're saying or go back and forth with you, and I feel like you'd activate them and bring so much light and joy. I feel like that's been within you, and I feel like that's been repressed, and I feel like you're kind of, like, allowing that version of you out, if that makes sense. But there's also a very bold, very fiery side of you that's coming out where it's like, don't mess with little me. You know, the again, movies for you so much. It wouldn't shock me if you guys have some Leo in your chart, or fifth house placements, because I was being shown, I can't remember what movie it's from, where the guy is like, our future's so bright, people are gonna need shades, little me, or something like that. They can't even see us, little me, something like that. I can't remember the name of the movie or wherever it was from, but that's what I feel. I almost feel like you're hand in hand with your inner child, and I feel like there's a lot of coding, there's a lot of light codes coming through, and I just see activations there. I feel very colourful, I feel very bright, and I feel like this next era for you, I'm not saying it's not, like, a serious era, it feels like a very serious era in terms of collecting parts of you that are coming back, and, you know, that's what I'm being shown. But I feel this next era is very much about you, in terms of, like, you learning about yourself and enjoying parts of you that you've repressed, and being somewhat of a main character. And I know people put their head down on that, and I know people project, and especially if you still have some wounds that you're working on in terms of that, even me saying that could trigger some of you. Might think, well, no, I don't want to be the main character, or, you know, we shouldn't really do that, because I feel like there may have been projections where it's almost like I'm repressing that part of me. But I do see that version of you coming out, and I don't know why, I'm just thinking of, like, I'm being shown somebody, like, in a room just, like, dancing and singing, like, just enjoying and letting it out within them, you know, in their bedroom or their living room, whatever it is. Like, I'm on my own and I'm just kind of, like, singing and dancing. I'm just kind of getting that out, and I feel like that's going to be really, like, therapeutic for you. I just feel like anything where you can create, play a role, get excited, dress up, I feel like that's actually going to be medicine. That's going to be your medicine. And I'm thinking, like, out of all the fragrances that I chose for this pick a card, the Valentino is, like, the fruity, it's got more of a sugary smell than the other three. The other three aren't really like that. So it's more, you know, it's sugary, it's bright, it's fun, it's lighthearted, it's, you know what I mean? That's what I feel in terms of even like the scent with you guys. I feel like I felt like there was like a berry burst, you know what I mean? Like I feel there's lots of colors coming out, lots of personality coming out that wouldn't have been there before. And I just see you being quite lighthearted and taking leaps in certain areas. So I definitely feel like you guys may travel or do so. I feel like you may shock yourself in terms of like following your inner child. What is it you're wanting to do? And it doesn't have to just be the inner child. It just feels strong. It could just be parts of you, like the flirty part of you, the fun part of you, the louder part of you. Maybe you've always been quiet because you were told, you know, you had to keep your voice down, you had to, you know, hide that aspect. I see those versions of you coming out, and I see you following it, like, oh my god, did I just say that? Did I just flirt with that person? Did I just ask that person's number? Did I just, you know, did I just do that? Did I just say that joke and everyone laughed? Like, oh my god, like, that's how I feel. I feel like that version of you is coming out in this next era. But I don't know why I feel like I'm shaking somebody's hand and I'm learning either how to network, or I'm learning how to like build rapport with people. Or I'm hearing that again. It was a TikTok sound, but I'm sure it was from like a movie or a TV show, and it's someone going, "You've charmed me," and I feel that people are gonna see was quite charming. That's kind of like how it's coming through. I don't know in what way, but that's just how that's coming through, because I feel like you naturally are that way. I feel like you are naturally quite charming and quite infectious like that. I feel like you've just had to repress it, and I feel like you've done the work for whatever it was that was repressing it to be removed. And I feel like it's going to open and open, because your inner child and those versions of you are like, oh, we can be loud, we can flirt, we can, you know, be that way. And I feel like you're learning, you know, to open to that, I feel, which is really, really lovely. Anything else, please, spirit guides, with these cards before I get into the oracle cards, please? Anything else? Yeah, I feel like you're coming, because I'm looking at, you know, the back of the deck and everything. I feel like you're coming from like a time, I feel like you've had to adult. I feel like you've had to have everything where it's needed to be. I feel like you've had to really shun certain aspects of yourself to kind of get by. I feel like you've had to, the way I feel like the weight's been on my shoulders. I feel like I've been the one in control. I've had to be the adult. I've had to be, you know, the logical one. I've had to make sure everything's safe and everything's where it needs to be. I've had to be that, and now I feel like you're learning to, you know, move the other way and allow those aspects to come out, if that makes sense. And I feel like your dedicated effort in terms of clearing, you know, certain energies and releasing certain energies with this back of the deck. I feel like you're, because the 7 at the top, I'm thinking of 7 in numerology, like you know, the 7 being ruled by Neptune, but, you know, people with a lot of 7 in the numerology chart, they're very introspective, they go very inward, they, you know, they're inward, they go deep, they're quite analytical, they can connect to spirit, but they'll be very analytical at the same time. There's that balance. So they're very like inward people, and I feel like you've had to be that way. And I feel like your dedication in that, you know, area with the Chariot at the back of the deck, I feel like that's what's allowed, you know, the that log to be moved for these aspects to come out, because it's like, oh, we can come out, you know. Okay, I feel like you may get inspired by movies in this era as well. Like you may get inspired by certain movies and TV shows and music, just because lots of movies have been showing up in TV shows. Pile number 3. We have summer, heat, embark, vacation. Some of you guys may be going on an actual vacation, or you may just decide to travel. Some of you guys, I just see it coming up. We have female and feminine energies, female figure in your life, mother figure. And we have home, feeling safe, warmth, togetherness, relax, time to unwind. Okay, and the back of the deck you have family, union, family ties, togetherness, and friendship. Okay, another thing that I want to say, I feel like other people might even be shocked by the shift with you guys, because I feel like there's just aspects that people may know you to be someone that's a little bit more rooted or grounded or logical, or rules, let's stick to the rules, or like, maybe even somebody that was a little bit more quiet, somebody that stayed back. You know, you may have had all these thoughts and ideas and, you know, fun thoughts in your head, but maybe you never said them out loud. You're going to start saying them out loud. People are going to start to see those aspects of you. And I think people might even be shocked, like, oh my God, they feel, you know, I feel like people are really going to see your growth. You know, sometimes we can do a lot of inner work. People might not see that. Sometimes we can do a lot of like, you know, we could be building up financially and putting things towards certain career aspects. People might not see that growth, but people respond sometimes to what they can see. So I feel like yours is very obvious in terms of like the aspect of you that's coming to the forefront, because I feel like people are like, wow, that person, they, you know, they really put their foot down, or they really put that boundary in, or they really told me off and they don't normally do that, or they, you know, they just started dancing and stuff and it's not like them. They're usually quite rigid and whatever. And it's like, who are you and what have you done with my pal threes? Like, I feel like there's going to be aspects where people are like, oh my God, I never knew you were kind of like that. And I also feel like you may even bring in Luna's causing chaos. You may even see that some of you guys may draw in like-minded people like that. Let me just move Luna because she's literally going to fall off the bed. Come by this side, baby, because you're going to fall. She's just knocking all the cards over. She was gonna lean back on the edge. She's gonna fall off. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I feel like some of you guys may draw in certain connections, people that are maybe as charismatic as you, so that they can mirror that to you. You know what I mean? To bring those aspects of you out. People that, you know, can be quite charming. I feel like you may even be learning from certain people as well. Like, oh, this is how people talk like that. Or, you know, you may be learning from people in that aspect. Because I'm hearing that Madison Beer song showed me how I fell in love. And she sings like, you showed me how to do exactly what you do, how I fell in love with you. So in the video, she basically, there's like a guy who plays poker and she kind of learns from him and becomes the best poker player. I think it's poker anyway. Could be something else, I may be wrong. Could be a card player, I don't know. One of those things. But she learns from him. So I'm hearing that song Showed Me by Madison Beer as well. But with Summer, I feel like you're going to be doing things on a whim. Like, let's go do this, let's go do that. You might even go to like, it might not be straight away. This is something that you may evolve and grow into. So you may start off in shallow end and work your way down. But I see you like taking yourself out to eat by yourself, whereas before you wouldn't have done that, or going and doing these things, or going and socializing in ways that you wouldn't have before. I just see a lot of that coming through. But again, vacation, I feel like some of you guys may travel. It's just coming up for some of you guys. It doesn't have to be for all of you guys. Why do we have female and then home? Please, spirit guides, why do we have the female card? Why do we have the female card? Female figure in your life, mother figure, feminine energies. I actually feel like these energies, these charming energies, you know, these parts of yourself, they may have actually been repressed maybe through the female family line. That's kind of like how it feels. Luna agrees. That's kind of like how I feel. It may have been like, you know, your mother may have had those energies within her and maybe repressed them. For some of you guys, she might have even projected that onto you. Like, you can't do this, this, and that. So then you repressed them. And it could have gone through the female line there. It doesn't have to be for all of you. I just feel like it's something that's been dormant or had to be hidden or had to be repressed. And it could have come through, you know. Because sometimes when we repress something within ourselves, sometimes we can project that somebody else should progress that somebody else should, you know, push that down too. That's why we see people, you know, being mean to people and putting people down for being too talkative, being too happy, being too miserable, being too whatever, because it's like they were taught, you know, you have to be like this, and they repress it. So when they see something in someone that they have within themselves, but they've had to repress it and push it down, it triggers that. So they have a negative reaction to it. And I feel like that might have happened through the family line for some of you guys. But I feel like you've created, with the home card, I feel like you've created through that inner work, that chariot energy at the back of the deck. I feel like you've really had your head down, really had like a controlled, dedicated effort towards clearing whatever was there. And I feel like your inner child feels safe. I feel like those other aspects of you feel safe to be activated because you've created that safety net within, that they feel that they can come out now, which is really lovely. And I feel like anyone that may try and project, because it happens when you shine, people project. I don't know why I just see like an inner divine parent coming through. Not on my watch. Like, no, you're not going to do that to me. No, you're not going to project that onto me. Not on my watch. Like, I see that. So there's a boldness coming through as well. There's definitely a lot of courageous, bold energy coming to the forefront. Isn't there, Luna? isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, pile number 3, that is what I have for you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed your reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey powerful, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what energies are being activated for your new era, what versions of you are coming to the forefront for this new era. So you guys chose the J'adore perfume. I'm going to start with tarot and then we're going to move on to your oracle card. So let's get in. So pile number 4, please, spirit guides. Pile number 4. Tap me into the collective of my pile number 4. What version of them is being activated and brought to the forefront for this new era, please, spirit guides? We have the 2 of Pentacles. What versions of my pile number 4s? We have the Ace of Pentacles. Pile number 4, please, spirit guides. Pile number 4. What versions of... Oh, we have the 10 of Pentacles. There's a lot of Pentacles. A lot of Pentacles. And we have the Queen of Swords as well. The back of the deck, you guys have the 3 of Wands. Okay. 2 of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles. The first thing that I want to say is that you guys have been just doing a lot of work on yourself, and a lot of work that I feel is about to get you the results that I feel that you've been wanting. So if you guys have had your head down for some time, whether it's like you've been doing inner work and you've been healing and, you know, there's been like a purpose for that, or whether you guys have been in the gym working out, or you guys have been investing like money, or you've been putting your head in towards like certain work, you know, ideas or hobbies or whatever it is that you've been doing, I'm seeing that return on investment. So that's what I'm being shown. But what I feel in terms of like what's actually being activated within you, like the version of you that's coming through, I feel open. Like I feel like I deserve this. I feel like I feel safe. You know, when we think of the Pentacles and we think of like that earthy energy, when we ground into our root chakra and we really ground into this reality, one of the big things is feeling safe in this reality. Because one of the things that can really block that energy is us not feeling safe and us feeling like we have to find a safety net elsewhere. Sometimes we escape, you know what I mean? We go into our minds, you know, the higher realms, the higher chakras, sometimes we do that. Whereas I feel very rooted. I feel safe. I feel very at ease. I feel very grounded. There's a lot of trust coming through. And because that's being activated within me, because that version of me is coming through, because I feel safe, because I feel like, you know, I have that trust in myself, I have that trust in what's to come, that's where I see abundance coming in, you know, because it's like, I know that it's coming, so there's that openness, there's that detachment in terms of I know it's coming, I know this is, you know, I put energy into this, I know this is, you know, for me, I trust that it's for me, in that way I'm aligning with it. But second of all, it's like, I deserve this. I deserve this. I deserve this to come in. I deserve this abundance to come in. I deserve this love to come in. I deserve, you know, this. For a lot of you guys, it feels material. It feels like that maybe like your finances may be evolving, or you may find that, I don't know why I feel like something's physically in my hand. So some of you guys may be getting, you know, put in a deposit down on like a home. Like I feel like big purchase sort of things. I'm thinking of like a car, but I just see like a flow of abundance coming in. But it's because the version of you that's activating this is, I feel safe. I'm open to this. I'm ready for this. I'm really rooted in. I'm open to these energies coming in. I'm allowing it to flow. I feel safe in that. I trust that. You know what I mean? And another thing as well, I feel like maybe in the past, because when I revert back to the past, I almost feel like you may have even gone through a period of time where you had been doing the work that I feel like you've been doing now, but there would have been this feeling of like, what if it doesn't work out though? What if this happens? And I think that's something some of you guys have actually been clearing. So I feel like over the last couple of months, maybe it's something you're still working through. You may have been dealing with a bit of imposter syndrome, or feelings of like, oh, I don't know if that's going to happen, or like worries like, what if I don't get that, or what if I don't achieve this, or what if this never happens, what if I was just wishful thinking. There's like a kind of like an imposter syndrome, and a kind of like, I don't even want to start this, or I don't even want to do this because I don't even want like the fear of failing. Like there's almost these negative feelings that would have come up beforehand that were causing that imbalance that I see that you guys have been working through or are going to work through as this energy takes its course, if that makes sense. But I feel like I'm connected to the lower chakras here. Like I feel like there's a clear out going on there, especially the root. And I feel like the more you're clearing it, you're dealing with those imposter syndrome feelings, or who am I to ask for this, or who am I to be able to achieve that. I feel the more you're clearing it, the more you're transmuting. I feel like you're aligning with that energy of, no, I'm open. And instead of, you know, that worry of like, we need a plan C, D, E, F, G, because what if this doesn't work out? What if that doesn't work out? And thinking of all, you know, the bad that could go wrong. It's like, yes, I'm logical, so I understand that I would need a backup, or I'm logical and I understand that, you know, sometimes things won't work out in this way, but I trust that I can flip that. I trust that I can shift that. I trust. There's a big thing about trust in here, and I feel like that's the version of you that's coming through. I feel very present, I feel very grounded, and I'm trusting that everything's working out for me because I'm already doing the work, and I trust that it's going to flow back. You know, sometimes people do the work to get something, but then they have that belief that it's far away or it's not something that they can achieve. Or sometimes people have that imposter syndrome, or they feel like they're not worthy of receiving something back, you know what I mean? And that can create blockages in the energy sometimes. And that's what I feel like you guys have been working and clearing, because I just feel like it's literally like there was water. I don't know why I'm being shown like a stream, and I don't know why it's being shown to me this way, but I'm being shown cupcakes like floating down the stream, and it's like, I really want these cupcakes, but all I'm getting is water, and I'm clearing, but I'm just getting water. And then it's like, no, those cupcakes are mine. I've worked for it. Like I trust it. Like I'm not even gonna stress. And then all of a sudden these cupcakes are coming down the stream. I don't know why Spirit showed me cupcakes, but there we go. But that's what I feel. I feel like there's like abundance coming in, but it's almost like I know that it's for me. I'm living it. I trust that it's for me. It's not in the future. It's not something I have to keep pushing for. And it's not something I feel isn't gonna happen. You know, sometimes when I do readings, I'll get two sides of the spectrum. So like, say now I'll talk about shadow work or inner work. People will get triggered by that deeper side or having to do shadow work, and people, you know, can project shadow work, whatever, because they hate to look at that. Whereas sometimes on the other aspect, if I do a reading and I see something light coming in, something happy coming in, abundance coming in, love coming in, some people can kind of get caught in, well, that's not for me, it's not going to come in. So when I say that, because I see it, people will sometimes lash at that and get triggered and be like, that's not coming in for me. No, because it's like there's a belief system inside. No matter whether I get attacked for talking about the deeper shadow work, or whether I get attacked for the lighter things, there's something within that's rejecting that. You know what I mean? And I feel like whatever it was that was rejecting, you know, that energy, I feel like you've put it to bed, or you're putting it to bed, which is why the version of you that's coming through, the only way I would describe what I'm being shown is the Empress in Tarot. You know, she has that beautiful garden, there's that abundance, she's trusting, she's, you know, she knows that nature's going to grow, she's done the work, she's rooted, she's grounded, she's allowing it to flow, you know, and she has that abundant garden. That's what I feel like you guys are activating that Empress energy, and just that trust, you know what I mean? Even when things might not go to plan, or things might, you know, there may be like a little bit of a rail on the tracks and you have to divert a little bit. It's like, no, I'm trusting the process. I know that there's a reason for that. I feel like that's what you're stepping into. And I see like a very breezy side to you too, where it's like maybe things that might have triggered you before, just not really bothering you as much. I do feel like there's a level of inner peace coming through. And I do feel this has also a connection to the physical body and the nervous system as well, because it's just something that is just coming up as I channel. So if those of you have been feeling the need to like reset your nervous system, or do things to really help your body feel safe, and you know, or even rewiring the brain to be open to abundance, because sometimes we're just used to, you know, we can do the inner work, but sometimes our brain needs a bit of rewiring, or our nervous system is holding a bit of trauma and needs, you know, that rewiring. Some of you guys may have been doing that physically as well, or maybe called to look into, you know, whether it's like somatic exercises, whether it's like lowering the cortisol in the body, or resetting the nervous system. Some of you guys may be looking into that, to really allow the body to trust that it is safe and it is okay. You know what I mean? Some of you guys may have been doing that as well. It definitely feels a focus on the physical, so the physical body would be tied into that as well. But I do feel like there's a lever being pushed, so I see things coming through financially for you, or like materially it feels for you. I see abundance and like something physical, something tangible that you can hold in your hand. I feel like that's what's coming through for you, but what's being activated for that to come through is you trusting, you know what I mean? That version of you that's stepping forward, that trusts, roots ground, knows it's coming in and believes, yeah, that's mine. I'm gonna ask for this because I, you know, this is what I like, and you know, I deserve this, and I'm not gonna settle for anything less. There's that sort of activation that I feel like there's been clearing for some time in your lower 3 chakras, so the sacral, the root, and the solar plexus. I feel like there's been a clearing there that's been going on, and maybe will continue, but the root feels a big focus of what's being activated within you and what's coming through. You know, I feel very safe, I feel very grounded, very rooted, and I trust. I'm trusting the process, and that's allowing these energies to come through, and I know what I deserve, and I know, you know, what I want. I see you guys almost like speaking into existence as well. I see that. I see you guys really affirming and speaking things into existence. So let's pull your oracle cards. Okay, pile number 4, please, spirit guides. What version of my pile number 4s is being activated in this next era? What version of my pile number 4s? We have the tree, knowledge, wisdom, strength. Yeah, lots of earthy energy here. Pile number 4. What version of my pile number 4s? Ooh, we've got pure. Pure just dropped over my shoulder. Innocence, clarity, belief, honesty, and truth. And then we have angel, guardian angel, protector, and angelic realms. And the back of the deck, we have universe, opening up, divine energy, allowing the universe to help and guide you. This card's come out in pretty much all the piles. Love that though. Love that. So with tree, like I said, there's a lot of, you know, when you see a tree and you see how long it takes for a tree to even sprout and grow into those big trees that we see today, you know, it's rooted, it's grounded, it takes its time, it goes down to the roots, you know what I mean? That's what I feel here. Like, I almost feel like I'm not rushing, I'm not trying to prove anything. I just feel like I'm really rooted and grounded into this reality. I'm trusting what it is that I'm building. There's something about, like, because this is where I feel like some of you guys might have been healing your nervous system, or really falling into a safety net within your body, where your brain and your mind and your body is like, okay, I'm safe, I trust that I'm safe, is because I keep feeling, you know, like I said, the tree, it moves slowly and it grows slowly and it goes down to the roots. I'm being shown somebody like laying there, and it's like, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, and I can't rest because I got to do all these things, and my mind is racing. But I feel like you're falling into an energy where you're just like, no, this is my time to rest. I don't need to be scrolling through every app on my phone. I don't need to be doing all of these things. My body trusts that I can rest. My body trusts that I'm safe. I'm resting. I'm grounded. I'm rooted. I do not need to rush. And that's what I see you tapping into. Do you see how my voice was going da 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 da, and then it slowed? That's what's happening over this next course of, I would say, I'm mean, on the next 2 years. Like, I see like that's what's flowing for you guys over the next 2 years. I feel like that's what you're learning to do, and that's the version of you that's coming through, which is really really lovely. And with the pure card being in the middle, I mean, that's our most pure state. You know, you look at animals and they're all still connected and attached to what it is they're actually meant to be doing. You know what I mean? They're all still connected to nature. They know when the storms are coming. They know when to flee. You know what I mean? They're able to energetically pick up on a lot, and human beings have completely dysregulated that. You know what I mean? We have dysregulated ourselves from that, and I feel like that primitive energy and that more grounded energy, I feel like that is what you guys are tapping back into. You know, your more pure nature. You may even find that there's certain foods you want to cut out and shift and shake up and add different foods to your diet. I feel like you're definitely going to be more in tune with your physical body. That's what I'm being shown. All things rooted and anything to do with the root chakra. I feel like there's a clearing out I feel very in tune with this reality. I feel safe. I trust that I'm safe in this reality and I'm supported, and there's that safety net here. And also in terms of my physical body, I feel safe as well. That's another thing that's coming through. And then we have angel, guardian angel, protector, angelic realms. I don't know why I feel very, very connected to, like, when I'm in this energy, yes, spirit guides, and yes, our guides and our deities, but I don't know why I feel like you guys are also aligning with just your higher self, in terms of just trusting yourself, you know? Sometimes we can offload our energy and give the credit to spirit and other energies that are around, and yes, spirit work with us and they guide us, and you know, great stuff, but we also are doing a lot of the work, and our higher self is also doing a lot of the work. And there's something about just trusting the intuitive messages in that moment. You see how she's got her hand just over like her like heart space there. It's like, I'm trusting myself, I'm trusting the messages that I'm getting, I'm trusting this is gonna come. I was intuitively called to make this decision or do this. I trust that that is the right decision. I feel like that's what's being activated within you as well. I feel like that is something that you're learning to do. Trust yourself, and trust your body, trust your mind, trust your spirit, your higher self. I feel like that is another big piece of you that's being activated, you know? Yeah, so that's what I'm being shown for you guys. As I'm ending the reading, I keep being shown anchors, so I thought I'd just pass that on. I'm just being shown lots of different anchors. But yeah, that's what I have for you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed the reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching.